everybody. Welcome to our bonus episode of Dinner Last Night. We thought it would be nice to get a holiday gift idea list ready for everybody. The holidays are one of our favorite times of the year, so Agnes and I thought it would be a great idea to compile a list of 10 awesome holiday gifts that would be great to give to maybe your food-loving friends or a really good home cook that you know. So that's what we're going to give you on this bonus episode today. Hi, Agnes.
Hi, Nat.
Oh, before we start with our list, just a quick note. We are not in any way sponsored by any of the companies, websites, anything listed here on this list. We're not sponsored or compensated in any way to endorse these things. These are just our own personal suggestions. However, if any of the companies on this list feel like sponsoring us, do feel free to reach out.
That was a great introduction, Nat.
So, Agnes, what is number one on your holiday gift list?
Okay, so we both created a list with 5 different items in no particular order. The first thing that came to mind is I received about 8 years ago a set of really whimsical measuring cups, butter dish, spoon rest set from Anthropologie, and it has been the most durable, beautiful, eye-catching piece in my kitchen. And I think maybe every year or so, they released a couple of different pattern. As I say, very whimsical, really original. Even the shapes are really original. So it's not something that you would necessarily buy for yourself, but I think as a gift, I've received mine for my birthday and I've just really enjoyed them. So that would be my pick number one is visit Anthropology and you can either do just the measuring cups or do the measuring cups and butter dish and a spoon rest. They even have pie dish all matching. And of course, we'll put the links of all that in the episode descriptions.
Very nice. My first item on the holiday gift list is from a company I just discovered called Omsom. And what they sell are these sort of like, they call them starter packets. And what it is like a packet with like seasonings, aromatics, sauces that are all built for these really classic Asian dishes. So they have like a Southeast Asian starter with like a starter for like Thai larb or like Vietnamese lemongrass barbecue. They even have one for a Filipino dish called sisig. And so the starters are they have no artificial flavorings, no preservatives, but what they do is they don't substitute on like difficult to find ingredients, which if you're a home cook and you're trying to cook maybe Southeast Asian or East Asian or South Asian foods, sometimes ingredients can be hard to source, or maybe you don't want to buy like a pound of something. So they really focus on trying to incorporate like as authentic ingredients as possible. And that what's really cool is they work with Asian chefs in the US all over the country to help them develop these like starter packs and the recipes that come with them. Yeah, so I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool way to maybe if you have some good and adventurous home cooks that you know, I think that that would be a really nice sort of different gift. It comes like with the recipe as well and what you would add to it. So really like anybody can use them, but their whole premise is that they really try and stay with the authentic ingredients so that you're not kind of like watering down the flavors or kind of making substitutions, which, you know, happens a lot of the time if you can't find the right things. So yeah, that's my number one pick. What about you? What's your second one?
Okay, my second one. So, as you will discover in our last episode of the season, in my house, we are sticklers for good glasswares for wine and beverages. I actually have a couple of crystal glasses that I use to drink my gin and soda on a daily basis. But anyhow, what would be a cool gift is, there's this big kind of like new trend with classic cocktails. So I was thinking that Coupe glasses would be really awesome to offer. You can drink champagne in it. You can drink a good martini in it. You can drink cocktails in it. And they are so pretty. You can find such a different area of choices. You can have some really inexpensive one to the crystal edged glassware that are maybe more expensive. So depending on who depending on who the glassware is going to, they could be you could really price point that. I found some really pretty one on the West Elm website, and they have a light pink color, a
Mm.
light pink tint to it, which is really, really trendy right now. So definitely a good glassware. You can also add, maybe you can add a bottle of your favorite champagne with it, or a bottle of gin, vodka, whatever. So it could be part of a gift or just the gift itself. I thought that having a nice set of coupe glasses is always enjoyable.
I agree, and coupe glasses are something that people I think are not likely to buy for themselves because they seem like a kind of occasion sort of glass or for occasion beverages. That's a good choice.
You know, I think that you should always have good glasses and drink, even on a Tuesday night. You know, take out the good glasses. Life's too short,
Mhm.
you know? What's your number two?
My number 2 is so you can go on Etsy and just search this exact phrase, and there are like a million sellers of this very specific thing. It's a handwritten recipe cutting board. So there's a whole range of them on Etsy, ranging in price depending on the type of wood that you want for the cutting board. But basically, what they do is they're like laser cut, and you send in a handwritten recipe and they laser cut it into the cutting board. So I feel like this would be a really nice gift, especially now where maybe people are not going to be seeing as many family members as usual this holiday. If, maybe there's like a shared family recipe that everyone likes, maybe grandma has a good recipe for like chocolate cake or something like that, something that has some meaning to your family. I think it would be a really cool gift if you got one kind of for each sort of extended family and you had, grandma's handwritten recipe on there. I think that would be kind of cool. And the nice thing is, you can really get all manner of like sizes of cutting board shape, whatever type of wood. So the cutting board, is a practical gift, but also I think this one would be really nice as like a displayed item.
I love that. You know, cutting boards, you don't have to cut things on them. It can just be like a tray or support or a stand for
Mhm.
something else in your kitchen. I love that. That's such a cute and original idea.
Yeah.
So my number 3, of course, I had to put in a cookbook into that list. So since I've downloaded the New York Times cooking app, I've made more and more recipes from Melissa Clark,
Mhm.
and I believe she's a editor for the New York Times cooking. Yes, maybe.
Maybe, or
But
maybe just
anyhow,
a contributor, who
a food
knows?
writer,
Yeah.
contributor. Anyhow, she's amazing. You can Google her. She has this book that she released in March of this year called Dinner in French, and it's an absolutely beautiful book. It talks about it is really a collection of traditional French recipes with a just a touch of modern. So she really took those classic recipes and made them fresh and new and exciting. The book is beautiful, has tons of pictures of French market and her memories and her I think she spent a lot of vacation time as a child in France, and it's a beautiful book that even if you don't cook, even if your friends or the person that the book is going to doesn't, cook French food necessarily, it's a beautiful book to have and to lay around in the house. So, that's my number 3.
Awesome. So my number 3, as you know, Agnes, I love Christmas ornaments, and the weirder and wackier they are, the better. In fact, one of the best Christmas ornaments I have is one that you gifted me, and it's this beautiful glass ornament. It's quite large and heavy and painted in these beautiful like reds and golds, and it is a hot dog truck.
I know you so well.
I found online Food 52 is selling these vintage inspired food ornaments by Cody Foster. And they're kind of in that same style, right? This very sparkly, very beautifully hand painted, but they have all these different foods. There's like a Madeleine, a taco, a croquembouche. There's like dim sum. There's a whole little cheese board on a tiny little like paddle board. They're so beautiful and so cute. So I think this would be a great stocking stuffer for someone.
Or they could also be something that you put on top of your Christmas presents, you know? Number 4 for me is actually a local company called Eclat Chocolate, and they are located in Westchester, and they have the most amazing artisan chocolate in the area. I think they've had a lot of national attention from Eric Ripert from Le Bernardin in New York, from Bon Appetit magazine. They've received tons of awards. They have those chocolates. I mean, we're talking wine, beer, single malt, Calvados infused truffles. They have some very original ones as well, like a long pepper from Bali chocolate, a Szechuan pepper chocolate, Moroccan mint, a ginger, a pear, a lavender, passion fruit, tons of seasonal flavors. Everything is made right here, 6 minutes away from my house. They distribute and sell the chocolate everywhere, and yeah, it's such a nice, again, chocolates that maybe, I'm not gonna buy it for us to eat on a regular Saturday, but such a good gift to maybe bring to a family or maybe to have at your table. You can buy just maybe duo truffles to have as a place setting, as a keepsake for a meal. Just tons of usage for those chocolates. So just a really fine, luxurious, something like they don't make like this anymore, Very, very special, high-end quality. I mean, we've used them for some of our highest, nicest event at work,
Mhm.
many times. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can vouch. They're delicious.
And they ship everywhere.
Awesome. Okay, so my next gift idea is so there's actually a couple things you can do with this website. I've just discovered it. I think I'm a little behind the times, but anyway, it's called goldbelly.com. And Goldbelly is a company that I guess they really sort of latched onto the idea of people feeling kind of nostalgic for the foods they grew up with, right? And trying to tie and connect people to those like food memories. So what they do is they partner with restaurants and food businesses all around the US to basically ship whatever food you can think of. So let's say there's various ways you could gift somebody something from Goldbelly. You could purchase them something directly from it. So let's say you have someone who maybe they grew up in New York City and they really love Junior's cheesecake, but now they live, I don't know, in California and they can't have any Junior's cheesecake. Well, you can go on Goldbelly, and Junior's is one of the restaurants that they partner with. You can go on Goldbelly and order them a Junior's cheesecake that gets shipped to them. It's all like packaged safely. It's packaged with like instructions for them on like how to reheat it or prepare it for eating. You can even say your friend is actually from Philly and is really hankering for a cheesesteak. You can get them a cheesesteak from like Pat's or Gino's. It's crazy. So you could do that directly. The other thing they do is you can buy someone a subscription. So Goldbelly has like you can do like a pizza subscription for them where Goldbelly will send them every month a pizza from a different place from a different pizza place in the country, or like they have a barbecue subscription or an ice cream subscription. That I think would be a good one. And then lastly, you can also just buy somebody gift cards to Goldbelly. But truly the options are endless of things. Like they also do more typical like gift baskety kind of things as well. The more typical food gifts that you might see, lots of baked goods too. But I think it's so cool that they partner with lots of local businesses to kind of, I guess, help feed people's
I
cravings.
love that. That's awesome. I'm waiting for them to go international.
Yeah.
Maybe they can ship some bouillabaisse from Marseille for me.
I feel like the postal service might not be pleased with the smell.
So, my last gift idea for your foodie friends is a Madeleine mold. So, Madeleines are those mini sponge cake, those French little mini sponge cake. And not everybody, it's not like a cupcake mold that most people, own those already. So, these are really special. I figure you can give them the recipe, maybe add a book to it, or you can add a lot of things to that mold. It's pretty traditional. You can find them in some specialized stores like Williams Sonoma, Sur la Table. I think you can probably buy on Amazon, to be honest with you. And it's a so Madeleines are mini sponge cakes, and they are shell. They're really typical, right? They have this shell shape, and they have a bump on the other side, right? From the the cake rising. In France, we really eat them at our tea time, our 4 p.m. kind of tea time.
Mhm.
And normally they have a traditionally have a almond component, or sometimes also they can have like a lemon zest or orange zest component. The story, I've read a little bit about it, and it's quite fascinating because, of course, since it's so old, there's a lot of legend and myth and everything, but it originated in the, I guess, northeast of France in an area called Lorraine. And it started in the 1700, and it was this little girl who was baking and giving out these cookies, and her name was Madeleine, right?
Mhm.
And then Louis XV introduced them to his wife Mary, and then introduced them to the French court. Now, in modern age, which is, I think, the most exciting part, in the 1920s, the French writer Marcel Proust, he wrote his autobiography called Remembrance of Things Past,
Mhm.
and in his autobiography, he talks about how the smell and the taste reminded him of his youth and really brought his childhood from the past back to life again by just the smell and the taste of that Madeleine. And it came back to life unconsciously. It wasn't like, oh, this cookie, I remember when I was a child, I used to always eat that. No, he didn't know what was happening. It took over all of a sudden, he tasted it and it took over his whole body, and his whole memory and his whole childhood came back to life. And it's very famous, and that's really what put Madeleine back on the map
Mhm.
in, a modern time in France. So it's a cute story. It's a cool tradition. It's kind of like if someone, I don't know, it's kind of like macaron, right? Very traditional,
Mhm.
so simple. Again, that's one of those food items that have a very few components. So you need good
Mhm.
butter, good eggs, all of that good stuff. It's so easy. They're so delicious. Yeah, I think everybody should be making Madeleine.
Yeah. I wonder if the founder of GoldBelly got the idea from reading Proust.
Yeah. I mean, and we talked about it when, when I was telling you I was making coq au vin, and my dad, it brought
Mhm.
back so many memories, and how
Mhm.
your memory, taste, smell, all of that, it's so powerful.
Mhm. For sure. Alright. Well, that's a good one. I love madeleines. My younger sister used to be obsessed with them. Like, we couldn't get her to stop eating them.
They're perfection.
They are. They're delicious, delicious. Alright, well, my last gift idea is truly more of an idea, but since we are still living in COVID times, restaurants and the food service industry have been particularly hard hit, and so if you have a local restaurant near you that you really love and you really wanna support, then my suggestion is that you purchase a gift card for your favorite local restaurant or restaurants because they could really, really use it right now. You can get them for like multiple places, gift them to multiple people. And I'm really not usually a gift card person. I always find them to be kind of impersonal gifts. However, a gift card to a restaurant is different, right? Because the other thing is, at some point when all of this is over and we can go to restaurants again, right? The person you've gifted the gift card, like you then have an excuse to have an experience with that person. It's the same thing as kind of like gifting somebody tickets to a concert, right? You assume that like you're going to go with them to the concert. It's the same thing with like restaurant gift cards, right? So, I think they're great gifts in general because even if you don't go with the person, you then like can ask them about their experience at that restaurant, and presumably it's somewhere you've gone that you also enjoy, right? So it's kind of a gift that gives long past the day that you gift it. But especially this year, I think local restaurants and food businesses in general could really use it. The same goes for if there's any food businesses near you that are doing like holiday gift boxes or special things like that. Now is the perfect time to support those businesses. If they matter to you, they probably need your help right now. So yeah.
All right, awesome. So I think everybody will be able to find all the links of all the items we talked about. We'll do a post.
Yep. We'll post all of the links to everything that we talked about on our gift idea lists in our episode descriptions, as always, on our website. And we'll also post on Instagram and Facebook about them, just to give you guys some ideas while the holidays are coming up. All right, we hope you enjoyed this little bonus episode and that you are getting as excited as us gearing up for the holidays. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Dinner Last Night Podcast. Thanks so much. We love to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Nat.